Hi, this is Mrs. McGreevy, and this is a SketchUp introduction that I put together for you. When you're looking at this introduction, I don't want you to watch it all the way through and then try to do it on your own. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to watch it in a window and then in another window have SketchUp open and try these things that I'm showing you in your own window. This isn't for you to watch and then try to remember all of it. It's for you to watch and play with SketchUp at the same time. It'd be even better if you could watch it on one computer and play with SketchUp on your computer and then just pause it when you need to try something or if you need to go back and listen to something again. So good luck! So it's starting to look a little bit more like a house. Now, one thing you might notice about houses is that they don't just, the roof doesn't end at the wall of the house. Usually there's a little bit of an overhang. So what I'd like to do next is I'd like to make a little bit of an overhang. Now, to do that, we're going to use a different tool, and we have to have a toolbar menu that we don't have right now. So let's go to View, and then Tool Palettes, and then Large Tool Set. And this will give us a whole toolbar over here that we don't have. We're going to use a tool called Offset. And what the Offset tool does is it takes an edge and it will draw an outline of the edge a certain distance from the edge. So what I mean by that is, notice we've highlighted the bottom, and I want to do that, and you'll see why in a second. But if I highlight that bottom, I clicked, and then I pull, I can make a box that's bigger than like the footprint of this building or smaller than the footprint of this building. But it will be exactly the same distance around all the way, kind of like an outline of the building. And so I'd like to do that, and maybe I'll make it 18 inches, 18, and then the little quotation mark is inches away from the side, and I press enter, and that automatically makes it 18 inches away from the side all around. And now what I'm going to do is I'll select the outline. I'm going to use my push pull tool. I'm going to push that all the way up, almost to the roof. Now, I don't want it quite all the way there, so 10 feet I know is all the way to the top. I'm going to make it 9 feet 9 inches, and that will give me a little 3-inch rim all the way around. So now go ahead and take a look. So now I have my eaves all the way around the house. So what does my house need next? Well, hard to get into my house without a door. So I'm going to go ahead and put a door. Now I'm going to put my door, just because I'm feeling very symmetric, I'm going to put my door right in the middle of this building, but I don't know where the middle is so much. And I also, don't know where, I don't know where I should start and end my door. So you notice my house is now 37 feet long. What happened to my other 3 feet? So when I put my door, there's my midpoint, and goes up. Oops. So if my house is now 37 feet long, and let's say I want a 3-foot wide door, how far from either side of the house should it be if I'm going to put it right in the middle? I'm going to go 17 feet from one side and then 17 feet from the other. And just to make sure, measure between these two guidelines, it's 3 feet. That's perfect. That's what I want. And another thing that I know is I don't want my door right on the floor because, if it gets, if it is really rainy, I get a little bit of flooding, I don't want the water to come rushing in and under my front door. So I'm going to make it a foot off the ground. So there's another guideline there. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to draw my front door. My front door is going to be 3 feet wide and 8 feet tall. So 8 feet by 3 feet. Alright, so there's my front door. Now, with a front door, usually what you have is you might have trim around your front door. So we're going to use the outline tool now to make trim. And so let's say we want to make it 6 inches. Actually, probably how about like 4 inches on all the sides. But here's another problem. When I have trim around my door, I don't want trim around the bottom of my door necessarily. I might have a step there. So what happens if I only want trim around 3 sides of my door? Let me show you how to do that. What we're going to do, if we want to use the offset tool, but we only want to use it on 3 sides, is we're going to select the sides that we want to use the offset tool with and hold down the Option key. And that will allow us to select multiple connecting sides. They have to be touching or it won't work. And now we can use the offset tool with us, and it will only do those 3 sides. And we said we want a 4-inch. Okay, so now we have this door, and we have some trim around it, and we probably need a little stoop going on here. So we'll start. I want to make sure I get it lined up perfectly. Notice that if I go and I hold over the line I want to line up with for a second, and then I go down to the bottom, SketchUp will show me when I've lined up with that line. And so I want to line up with this edge here. They'll show me. Alright, so now I've got my stoop and my trim and my door right here, but all of this is just 2-dimensional, and I want to make it 3-dimensional. The other thing that I have is I have all these guidelines. I don't need them anymore, so I'm going to go to Edit, Delete Guides, and then they go away. But let's say I want to take my stoop and I want to select it and I want to pull it out a little bit. Let's say 10 inch. No, how about 12 inches? I guess I could have said 1 foot, but you know, probably a little bit more. So from there, how about another 6 inches? So it's a 1.5 foot stoop. And let's say I want to pull out this trim, maybe 2 inches. And the door can be right there. So now go ahead and take a peek. Like, look and see what we've done. We pulled out my stoop a little bit. You know, I think that stoop might even want to come out a little bit more. I'm going to pull it out to another foot. A foot, not an inch. Okay. Now notice on my stoop I've got these little lines here. If I want to get rid of those, I can just select and delete. And select and delete. So our house is looking pretty good. You know, at this point, I probably should have done it earlier. I'm going to save this because SketchUp does have a tendency to quit sometimes, so we have to be careful. So I saved it to my desktop, called it House. Very creative, I know. So our house is looking good. The only problem we have right now with this door is what? How are we going to open it without a handle? Go through the process of designing a whole door handle and learning all the fun and trickiness to making a door handle look just so. Another option that I have is there are people all over the country who use, or in the world, who use SketchUp and who make things and then share them. So I'm going to go to File, 3D Warehouse, and I'm going to get a door handle that will fit on my door. So I'm going to look for door handle. And I'm going to search for it. What door handle do I like? For an outside door, ooh, this one's kind of nice. I'm going to pick this silver door handle. I'm going to go ahead and download this, see how it works. So I download my model, and then I just pop it wherever I want. I want it to be probably right about there. And as I look around, now I've got a lovely door handle on my door. Alright, so I'm going to click elsewhere so the blue goes away and you can see better. Great! So we're getting there with our house. We've got a nice door, nice little stoop. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these guide lines now. And let's say I want to put, what's my house missing? Maybe my house is missing some windows. Well, maybe I want to put a window on my door first. So I'm going to take my ruler. Maybe I want to put a window that is, how about, is 3 feet from the bottom. And I'm just going to do a little one. I'm going to do a little window. I want to make sure that it's the right distance. So my door is 3 feet wide, right? So I'm going to make it 6 inches from one side and 6 inches from the other side. And I'm going to do a little, we'll make it 1 foot by 2 foot. Good idea. Do a little window, and I think I'd like to make this pretty. I think I can make it a little pretty arch. So to make an arch, I'm going to click on both sides where I want my arch to start and end, and then I had to tell it how far I want it to go up. So we'll have it go up 8 inches. All right. And let's say I don't want that line in the middle. I just want it to be a pretty window like that. There we go. I clicked it and I deleted the line. And maybe I want to do a little trim around this window too. So select my window, do outline, and we want it to be, oh, maybe just a little 1-inch decorative trim. And we can select that trim. Not just the line, but I want all the trim. Let me zoom in, make it a little easier. Select the trim, and I want to pull it out by like 1/2 inch. Alright, and so now maybe if we look, oh yeah, see how pretty that is. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of those guidelines again.